I was born in 1943 in a village called Orwell in South Cambridgeshire. From a very early age, my interest in farming came because my father was a blacksmith, and he used to go around the farms in the late 40s, early 50s, shoeing the horses. During that period, tractors were, most farmers then had got their first tractors, so my interest in tractors came 6, 7 years old. Then I'd done the silly thing, I went motorcycle racing, and the pay that I got from my farm wasn't enough to keep the bikes going. So I then went long distance lorry driving in the UK, and I drove the heavy trucks in the UK for some 30 years. I had nearly 10 years racing and just got bumps and bruises everywhere, and I also used to compete in time and observed trials. And whilst I was competing in there, in one of those trials, two of us tangled up and hit one another more or less head on. And unfortunately, my leg went through the front wheel of the other motorcycle, and it done very, very serious injuries to my leg, resulting in me losing my Achilles tendon, and ended up with the right leg 1 inch and a quarter shorter than the left one. We're just on the way now up to the depot to pick the tractor up. It's all loaded on the trailer, all ready to go, and then we'll hook up and we'll make our way to Bury St Edmunds. Heavy duty trailer with 3 axles, and it's capable of carrying the tractor and the plough, which weighs approximately 2 tonnes. The vehicle is obviously off-road vehicle, 4-wheel drive, and what can I say? It's a very good piece of kit, very expensive, but if you want to take part in these competitions, you have to have the equipment to get there. As you can see, the handle's a bit hard to wind. We've got to repair that tomorrow. Most important thing is to plug the electrics in. So we've got indicators on the rear of the trailer. This is a security wire. You can see the cable there, it runs to the braking system. Should the trailer become detached, that cable will pull the brakes on and stop the trailer running away. The event today is being run by the Suffolk Ploughing Society, and it includes some qualifying for the British Championships, which are held in October. And I'm going along. I'm not a top professional ploughman. I get occasional wins if I'm lucky, but I think the object is taking part. And there'll be some 50 to 60 ploughmen there today, and you know, it's a good day out. We'll now put the rear point on. Without that, we're not going to plough. That just slips on there like that. That's a cutting point, and you put the pin in. We'll give it a little bit of persuasion. I have got a hammer, which I'll put in a minute. Right, that's secured. So far, so good. These are my sight poles, and I put them across the field to try and attempt to plough in a straight line on the first furrow. It doesn't always work, but with the sight poles there's no excuse, and it's all down to the person operating the tractor at the time. So we do our best to get as straight as we can. You do lose marks if you're crooked. I feel cluttered with the coat. No, it's going to be too windy, isn't it?
We start with the opening, which needs to be clean cut and even both sides, and then we go on to the closing of the ridge, which needs to be level and flat as possible and nice even furrows, and then the general work is even, straight, level. Not matter today too much, but if you've got stubble and that, it needs to be buried, any trash buried and that. And then a vital part is the finish, which needs to be straight, clean and well cut out.
Not too many skills. It's different to a car, obviously. You have to stop to change gear. You don't change gear on the roll, but it's just getting used to it. And it's they say practice makes perfect. And a couple of days on one of these, and you know, you're pretty handy with it, really. There's more of an art when you've got to drive straight and do various things, but I think it just comes with practice all the time. 5 or 6 hours on one. They're fairly handy with actually handling it. And you know, there's more skill when you have different implements behind it, you know, when you're tilling the land and stuff like that. And with the ploughing, the skill is adjusting the plough to make it do, to make a nice job. It's not a matter of just dropping it in the ground and going. You have to have a little bit of knowledge on the adjustments to get the thing running correctly and to leave a level finish. So I'm just trying to adjust the plough to make each furrow level across the top, which I haven't achieved to do just here, but I'm working on it. I've had a very good season this season. You talk about the training and everything. That was for first place in my class at Hadnam in Cambridgeshire. Competed in 6 matches this year. I've had 2 wins and a second place, so I'm quite satisfied. I'm quite happy with that. Win or lose, if I enjoy the day and I leave the field happy with what I've done, then I'm happy and I've had a good day. Not too much upsets me on the ploughing. Sometimes I'll have a bit of a moan. For an example, if I get a second or third or first place, when another ploughman will come up and say, I don't know how you got that, I ploughed better than you. And another little thing with all of us is, if the organising committee use somebody that's known to all of us, so if we know the judges personally, local people, they will sometimes judge the person on the tractor rather than the actual ploughing, which, you know, does cause a lot of comment. It's nice if the judges can come from another county, so, you know, you're not known to them, and then I think you get a fairer result at the end of the day. We've also got 6 vintage tractors where during the summer months we attend steam rallies, vintage vehicle gatherings. This year nobody was allowed to put shows on because of social distancing, so no steam rallies happened this season. In July I organised with others a tractor road run, and we travelled 33 miles and we visited 13 villages in South Cambridgeshire, and we collected £3,500 for the NHS charity. So that's what this thing's about, and the vintage tractors and the ploughing matches, we work for charity as much as we can. Well, the COVID-19 has affected the competitions. Many organisers have chosen not to run the match this year. Others have, but it's usually run just with the ploughman on the field, no spectators, no catering facility and no prize given at the end. So it then keeps social distancing to the government guidelines, and the results of the match are usually sent to you either on Facebook or telephone call or messenger or email or whatever after the event. So the social side of it is gone completely this year. You know, you just turn up on the field, do your best, load up and come home.